Son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Here we go!
You just got me super fucking hyped.
Welcome, Warriors, to episode 2 of Super Enabler Bros Show. Woo! I'm Jason of Corpse Leg Gaming, accompanied by my excellent co-host, Chris, the old-ass retro gamer, and enabler of all my collecting vices.
Enabler.
How you doing?
Equal opportunity enabler. I am doing great. How are you doing, sir?
Excellent. I mean, come on, you can't have Ultimate Warrior glasses and have a bad day.
I got a boner.
Well, we'll work that out in therapy. So, it's been a while. So, want to know what you've been up to and what you've been playing, what you've been watching.
Oh, been playing some shit.
You've been playing some shit.
Finally beat the Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. Beat the main game. How about that?
Okay.
And actually today I started playing. Well, I went back and started doing all the things that I had missed. So now I actually have 100% on the story mode.
Excellent.
And I downloaded all the DLC packs. So I'm probably going to start that over the week or over the next week. Try that out.
Perfect. So much fun.
Yeah. But doing the stuff, it turns out that I missed was all the thugs and the the prisoners and all that crap. Crime. Yeah, so just
the rando crimes were the worst.
Sitting on tops of buildings, waiting for people to cry.
Yeah, and pushing that like left stick, and it sounds like a sonar of crime. I'm like, I don't remember that in the comics. Spider-Man's crime sonar
is a Spider Daredevil.
Yeah, Spider Sense is like, it's amazing. It's always surprising me.
Yeah, but yeah, it took about 3 hours doing that today.
Well, excellent.
But I would not complain because I was having fun beating the crap out of punk bitches.
Yeah, when you finally find them, it's like, can't wait to get there and kick some ass. And then you get there and it's like, rescue some people from a fire, and you're like, ugh,
yeah,
just leave them.
Quick time events, got to crush that car. Yeah. But yeah, I had a good time doing that, and like I said, I'm going to play all the DLC over the course of the next week.
Sweet.
And then once I had beaten that, I started playing Terminator Resistance on the Xbox One.
Oh, yes. Do we just become best friends?
I don't know. I'm not putting my balls on your drum kit.
Okay. Then we are becoming best friends because I don't need no funky nuts.
Shut up! You'll wake the neighbors! So yeah, I didn't realize it was a first-person shooter. I thought it was going to be like another third-person action game, kind of like the other Terminator game.
Like a Gears of War type?
Yeah, and took me by surprise. It does feel very last gen to me.
Yeah, it's not as polished as a AAA for sure, but at least it like plays and controls well, I find.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I mean, it is fun to play. I like the fact that like when you're talking to the different people in that cell that you hook up with at the beginning, like it affects your relationships with everybody, kind of like a Mass Effect type game.
Yeah, I love that there's actual like choice, and it's not just like a linear. Well, I mean, it's like linear.
It makes it more immersive, at least for me. So exactly. I have a sneaking suspicion that me and the girl who has a little brother are gonna bump the uglies at some point because she's kind of like all about this dick.
I kind of.
You kind of spoiled that for me.
I kind of spoiled that there might be something pertaining to
some
that.
Hot beef injection.
Yeah. So, but hopefully it still sneaks up and is a surprise. It's a really fun game. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did.
I just hooked up with the actual resistance cell.
Okay, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we don't know who the hell you are. I'm going to take you on this guided tour of the Terminator factory."
I don't know if I trust you yet or not.
Yeah, so we did that whole mission. And that was when I stopped playing.
Sweet. Yeah, I found it got more and more fun. Like the only part that felt last gen to me was like you said, the graphics. They're not painful to look at in any way, but they're clearly like
also the way that the missions are kind of set up, where like the first section of the game where you're like, oh, you got to go find this toolkit for this guy, and you got to destroy these reactor things, and it was like I didn't like finding everything. Like there was no map, so I couldn't figure out where the hell I needed to go.
Yeah.
So like I ran around that level for like an hour and a half trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah, it's got like a bit of a waypoint thing, but it also lets you like there's multiple ways that you can approach. Like it'll let you stealth through. You can go in guns blazing. You can
And there's that
going from the right, going from the left.
There's that gate in the first level that says, "Oh, you need to be able to hack this gate." You don't get the hacking tool until the second stage.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's like a duct you can crawl through in order to get through past it. But I was just like, why did they even put this here? This makes no sense. Is that a hint to what's coming?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few things like you come and play later on that it all makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing about that game that felt like kind of a waste to me is like all the skill tree is like really in depth, and there's like a lot of cool elements to it, and there's all that crafting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel any need to craft anything more than like a little bit of ammo when I was low, but you can craft so many things.
Only thing I've crafted so far are lockpicks.
Yeah, lockpicks and ammo I think are all I ever made.
Yeah,
and you're like,
and like I'm
on like level 1.
And I'm looking at like the other stuff on the skill tree, and I was just kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like if there was, like if the game was a lot longer, that a lot of that stuff would come into play. But like some of that stuff, like by the time it even is useful, you're like, okay, we're at like the second last level. So
yeah, what's the point?
I mean, I unlocked it for achievement's sake, but that's about it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was.
But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it.
Sweet. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully we can hear more about it later, and when you get more into it. Yeah. It felt like something I needed as a Terminator fan. Like it actually feels like the future war, even though there is like daytime parts.
Yeah, it's
nighttime
a little
part.
Terminator Salvation action going on there.
And it's got like the real like music you'd expect, not just some generic music that we couldn't get the licensing to the.
That's what got me. It's like when you're hanging around with the other people, like the survivors, and they're playing like the music from Terminator 2 when they're out in the desert.
Yeah, so
and Sarah's carving on the table and all that with her knife, right, and the no fate thing on the table.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there going like, this is awesome. And they actually like licensed the music from Terminator 2. This is amazing.
Yeah, and when there's a bunch of like endoskeletons around too, all you hear is
yeah, I love it. I love it.
And I'm like, yes.
It just feels like Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I couldn't ask for much more, especially after playing like the Salvation game. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the game more than the movie, but it was a very, very short, very, very easy game. So
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
Maybe
I should add to my roulette list.
Could be. Yeah, I rented it, and I think it was like a fun afternoon, basically. Like it wasn't a bad game.
Oh, kind of like King Kong.
Yeah, or the first Saw game.
I haven't played it. I have both of them, but I haven't played them.
Yeah, I
recurring thing you're going to hear over this podcast.
Yeah, it was fun and had cool like puzzle mechanics and stuff. And right when it started to feel like, oh, okay, this is getting kind of samey, or like I'm kind of over this idea, it was like the end of the game. So you're like, oh, okay, well, that was a fun afternoon and didn't outstay its welcome. It didn't just be long for the sake of being long and shit. So I don't know.
So I've never played the second one. Torture porn.
Yeah, exactly. It was they're decent. They're not terrible. But yeah. Anything else you've been playing
other than my roulette game?
Okay, cool. Well, we'll touch on that in a bit. Since our last episode, I haven't beaten a whole lot, but I did finally cross a big game off my list that I really thought I beat already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really thought I beat it, to the point of I've been talking about replaying it lately before the new one comes out, and that's Doom 2016.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I was like, I can't really remember the end. Was it just super underwhelming, or what the hell? And then I actually finished it, and it was a little underwhelming. But
it's like, oh look, we're going to set you up for a sequel.
I would have at least remembered it. But turns out I started again from the beginning. But I loaded my save, and I was like half an hour from the end of the game.
It sounds like the same thing that happened with The Witcher.
And I want to know what game was so amazing that I was 99% done this game, and then just was just like, I'll get back to it. And then convinced myself, I beat it, so I don't need to.
Yeah.
And obviously an amazing game. I've never really a lot of bad stuff about it. Some people say it gets a little bit repetitive. You know, the ending's a little underwhelming. But I mean,
I know
I don't need.
work who actually doesn't like it.
What? Well, I don't like that guy. So
he rented it, and he didn't like the whole glory kill thing because it's not Doom. Not Doom. I was like,
it's super Doom.
At
Actually,
the beginning, it's kind of off-putting, but you get so used to it, and it becomes a requirement by the end of the game. Like you absolutely have to keep doing that.
It was pretty up-putting, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, it gets a little. It does get slightly repetitive. You know, just doing the same shit. That's basically how you stay alive in the big arena-ish fights. You know, where they're demons detected, so it locks all the doors. Like you have to kill them all.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the game is that it does that.
Yeah, it seems to get. I felt like the last 2 levels, I was kind of feeling it more like, okay, I'm in an area. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to progress. Kill everything in the area. It's going to be more and more stuff. It's going to come in waves.
Like with those
I'm going to find the
stuff.
I'm going to find and I'm going to find the power ups after I've killed everything.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there's quad damage after I've killed everything.
Fuck you, Doom.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Going through it again.
It was a really good reboot.
I got it on the Switch also, and
so do I.
I'm pretty far on that one too. I'm just like, man, I just really like playing the beginning of this game. Apparently,
yeah, I bought that basically out of curiosity to see how it would work.
Yeah, my mom actually got it for me for Christmas that year that I got my Switch. So yeah, it was not something I'd really double up on.
Normally I wouldn't be doing something like that.
But it was one of those things like, can the Switch really do this? I was pretty.
Well, I was like, if there was one game I'd like to play on the go, it would definitely be Doom.
Yeah, it's
even though obviously it runs a little bit crappy in handheld mode.
Yeah, it wasn't too. I don't like it in handheld mode at all. It
doesn't look bad when you're playing on the TV though.
Yeah, it does. I find. I mean, I just don't like the aesthetics of actually playing it like this.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't feel like a shooter game. I need something with some sort of triggers.
Yeah.
And the Switch very barely has that in handheld mode. So even if I wasn't playing it on TV, I'd be playing it in like tabletop mode with the Pro controller.
Yeah.
I'm like, I needs it. So
wants it.
Yeah.
Got to have it.
So yeah, it was good to finally do that. And beat a couple other smaller games, seems to be at least an extra every couple of weeks thing around my house. The kids all want to play X-Men arcade.
The arcade.
On my my arcade stick plug and play thing. So we played through X-Men again, and that's always fun. But there's I beat something else. Oh, Danger Zone.
Oh yes, I saw your video that you posted about your big platinum or whatever it was.
You got to get platinum medals on the events. And if you're not sure what Danger Zone is, it's literally, if you like the crash events on the Burnout games, it's literally a whole game that's only crash events. You're not doing any races, any time trials, anything like that. It's only the crashes, and that's pretty much what kept me playing the Burnout games. As much as I love them, the races are fun, but I was just like, come on, unlock another crash, because I love the shit out of that with the crash breakers and blowing up, like seeing how much money worth of damage you can do. If it's something that even sounds cool to you, definitely check out the Burnout games. I think they started the crashes in 3.
Yeah, it was either 2 or 3. Yeah,
it's
Burnout.
Excellent.
That's my favorite part of the Burnout games.
Yeah, exactly. So when I heard about dangerous driving being basically, I think it's some people who were on the team that made the Burnout games coming out, I was like, I am grabbed that immediately. And on the disc, it comes with Dangerous Driving and Danger Zone 2. And I was like, wow, that looks awesome.
Do it.
I'll get Danger Zone 1. But unfortunately, Danger Zone 1 is only is a download-only game. So, I bit the bullet and downloaded it, and it was excellent. I think I played it about 2 good sessions, and I got the full 1,000 of 1,000. It was a lot of fun. Nothing too crazy, strenuous besides platinum medals, but fun stuff. I highly recommend it. The only thing that feels a little bit different is instead of like money milestones to unlock your crash breakers. You land on these like power-ups. So when you get your first one, there'll be like a quota of how many wrecks you have to cause before you get the first one.
Okay.
And then from that one, you know how you could like steer your car husk. you basically like steer it towards another one of the explosion power-ups, and there's also these little like coins that'll give you like a bonus. You know, the first couple are like 10,000 or something points and whatever. And you basically just juggle it around. And the only thing that's really different besides the power-ups that you land on there's like an out of bounds, and my kids called it the lava. Because in this game, I guess since people might be too sensitive to like car crashes or something now, they have to be like, it's all a simulation. So it's like, oh, if you go, like, you have to go pretty far sometimes. Sometimes there's like bridges just to make it more challenging. If you fall off the bridge, you'll de-res, but it just looks like you're sinking.
Tron style?
Yeah, you're like sinking into like blue, you just turn into like blue digital nothingness. But besides that, it's exactly what you expect from it feels the same when you're playing it, and I cannot recommend it enough. It was a hell of a time. My kids enjoyed watching it. My daughter high-fived me every time I got all of the coin pickups, because then you get like a big bonus, and that was pretty much crucial for getting platinums in most of the levels. So yeah, fun for the whole family. Is a good car wreck scene.
Yeah,
at least in my family.
There's no bodies flying out of the cars and stuff.
Yeah, no bodies. It's all just
when you look at the aftermath of your crash thing, you hear ah, ah, ah!
my baby. It's good that yeah, there's not that. It's family friendly, twisted metal explosions, and
I want it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. You said you hadn't picked up Dangerous Driving yet, or you did and just haven't played it?
I want it.
Okay. Yeah, I highly recommend, because I played Dangerous Driving, and it plays it's all races instead of crashes, and it plays a lot like Burnout too. It feels like
maybe some of the same people worked on it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of the same team, so that's why it feels so much like. And this stuff just barely changing the name, like Crash Breakers or Smash Breakers. So it's like not even unapologetically like copying itself. And I can't support that more. I'm totally all in for that, because if they're not going to make more Burnout games, whatever.
I think Paradise kind of ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, that was definitely like probably my least favorite one. That and maybe like the first one, just because they hadn't, it only got better.
Yeah,
but
that was a test drive.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the concept of Paradise just being like this giant open world, but just in execution, it was like more of a pain in the ass. And I just want to go on to the next race, or I just want to go on to the crash and whatever. But yeah, could have been better for sure. Pick it up. There was a few like little glitches I ran into that kind of like, I got caught on a guardrail a couple of times on the same track, where I'd be like, my car would be on the other side of the guardrail and the same, the track side of the guardrail, and it would just be like, I can't pull away. So if you hit the traffic in this one, even though the traffic from behind, it wrecks your car. So that took a bit of getting used to, because that's, in the Burnout games, that's how you get your boosts, was like hitting the other cars and making them like crash into other shit.
Yeah.
But in this one, you either way you hit them, you pretty much wreck your vehicle. So like, that kind of sucks. But yeah, definitely check it out. Now you probably feel like you've played it because I talked about it so much. Yeah,
I'm still stoked that I beat a game before you did with Doom.
Yeah, with Doom. I mean, I got the collector's edition and everything, and I was so convinced that I did it. And then I was like, I'm gonna do a run through, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember the end.
Yeah,
but well, we got there now. Better late than never, and right before Doom Eternal comes out. So
yeah, I might play through it again, but right before I pick up my copy of Eternal. But that's going to be after the Midwest Gaming Classic.
Yeah, mine too, now that Amazon royally screwed me and canceled my collector's edition once it was sold out
They're
everywhere
a bunch
else.
of chodes.
Big time. Hopefully they do something to make good, but I think they're pretty much just like, nothing we can do. I'm like, damn it.
You can send me my game on time, motherfucker. That's what you can do.
When it comes out, you can give me that pre-order price guarantee
Yeah.
from the scalper.
How about free?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would just
Because
do it.
you done messed up, Ron.
I would consider it a sponsored video when I do the unboxing of it.
There you go. Free advertising.
Right on. So speaking of other games we played lately, we kind of held off on our roulette, backlog roulette game pick from the last episode. If you're not familiar with backlog roulette, it's literally roulette, but you make a list of 38 games, 1 to 36, and 0 and 00.
Yep.
Of all games that are in your backlog that you've been keep saying, I've been meaning to play that. I just never get around to it. Well, put all the games that you never get around to that you really want to play, but whatever in life is keeping you away from playing it, and throw it on your backlog roulette.
Do it now. Come on.
Do it. You got till the end of the episode before we do this week's, and we'd really like to get some participation going besides us. I mean,
I've been going into people's streams and saying, you should start streaming a game that you have to play because of the roulette. They're like, what is this roulette you're talking about? It's like, here's the link to our episode. Check it out.
Sweet. Doing the groundwork. There you go.
Captain Algebra, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. There you go. That guy does play a lot of his games, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, someone who chips away at their backlog, that's definitely Cat. But
yeah, I sold him on it big time last night.
awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully get a lot of people. Looks like a lot of people checked it out. The last episode had a decent amount of views. So
yeah,
if you're back again, thanks for coming back.
Welcome.
And also thanks
to the danger zone.
Huge thanks to our intro and outro composer, Peter Bateman.
Yes.
For doing us as
God among men.
An awesome job of getting our song together on very short notice. He was
with a lot of random things being thrown at him in chat.
Yeah. I like this. I
want to hear this quote. I want to hear this quote. I want to hear this quote. It's like,
and we're like, all right, how about just a few of those, and we'll just make a soundboard later. So
we're still working on, by the way.
We are, yeah. I cannot find a good enough soundboard. If you know a good soundboard app, let us know. I'm
just thinking about making a playlist on iTunes and just clicking on them when I need them.
Yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, the one I found was basically like you couldn't just drop a clip into it. You basically had to like hold your phone up and like record it. I'm like, everything else sounds super jank. Amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We like to have some production value for our review, so I'm not doing that.
No, we don't play that.
I'd rather do the extra work and have a better turnout.
Yeah,
but yeah. Speaking of our backlog roulette picks from last episode, I got Guilty Gear Judgment.
Yeah,
and now you say a thing.
What? Oh, I had. Wow, thanks, man. I had Metroid Zero Mission.
Woo! I think you won the last one because that's a great game. I got to play more of it, but I should have put it on my roulette wheel.
I guess it made me mad.
Well, why don't you tell me about it? What made you mad?
Okay. So the whole idea behind Zero Mission is it's supposed to be a remake of the original Metroid that came out on the Famicom Disk System in Japan and the NES in America.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing it, and it's cool. They put some cutscenes in there to like break things up and try to like add a story into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But basically what they did is turn it into Super Metroid, which isn't the original Metroid. And it kind of annoyed me. Because I'm like, I wanted to play the original Metroid just with better graphics. I didn't want to play Super Metroid, because if I wanted to play Super Metroid, I'd go play Super Metroid.
Or one of the other...
Yeah, one of the later games.
Yeah, one of the other Metroid Game Boy.
So it just kind of annoyed me that it kind of retconned the game a lot. And... not to say it's bad. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. And like any other Metroid game, I get frustrated because I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do in an area, and I just start bombing every single thing I can find just to find some hidden passage.
how I
And
deal
then,
with
oh,
most
look,
things.
here's that special item I needed in order to progress. Now I can have fun again. That kind of thing. And it would happen over and over again. And that's what I like about the Metroid games, because the exploration is what it's all about.
Well, your solution for minor inconvenience in the game is basically my solution for minor inconvenience in my life. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? I'll just bomb everything, I guess.
Nice. So you asked me if I beat the game.
Did you?
Yes and no.
So
today you texted me, or I texted you. We're talking, and I said I still need to beat the game because I'm at Mother Brain.
You're like, yeah, when are we doing this? And I was like, basically like 4 or 5 hours. And you're like,
okay, that's enough time because I still got to beat Mother Brain's bitch ass. And she is a pain in the ass, but I did beat her, and I was like, okay, cool, I beat the game. Whip out my phones, try to take pictures of it so I can do the just beat it thing.
Oh man, little screens are the worst.
Well, no, I wasn't playing it on my Game Boy. I was playing it on my TV.
Oh, okay.
But the game didn't end. They tacked on an entire new thing after you beat Mother Brain.
Oh no, the Upside Down Castle?
No, it's basically like you get off the
that's a different
planet,
video
because that's
game.
where the game is supposed to end. You get off the planet and game over, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you get attacked by space pirates and you crash on a planet, you lose your suit, and it's Zero Suit Samus, the blue suit Samus, running around in a whole new underground dungeon thing, trying to get away from the space pirates.
No.
And I'm like, what is this? This wasn't in the original game. So I beat the game because technically I beat where the original game ended, but it keeps on going.
The original game was but the training mission.
Yeah. And basically this new section, at least the first half of it, is an extended chase scene. It's like because all you have is a pea shooter gun. You have no powers or anything.
No missiles.
So you're basically it's a chase scene. You're basically running away from the space pirates for the whole first chunk of it.
That
Eventually,
sounds super Metroid-y.
Yeah, and then you eventually do find your suit. And it upgrades your suit completely to like the gravity suit and all the stuff you never got back in the original area.
So it went from Zero Suit to what's that?
The gravity
suit?
Yeah, the complete thing. And it made me mad because I'm sitting there going like, this isn't Metroid anymore. This is something completely different. This is not what I signed up for.
Well, damn.
I mean, like, I'm thankful. Yeah, I can understand them going like, well, there wasn't enough game, to justify purchasing it again like this. We're going to put some more stuff in there. But then again, it isn't the original Metroid anymore.
Add content. Well, they deferred it with the Zero mission, so maybe they were just like added content, just like when it doesn't really ever seem to really mesh well with the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when they added stuff to the Chrono Trigger on DS and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Remember, I haven't played through it on myself. I'm pretty far, but
I hear some people complain about it and some people love it.
Church thought it was just like the most unneeded thing on it's one of his favorite games, and he was like, ugh. It was a real slog, and I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, yeah, it doesn't always mesh well, but so hopefully the end of this part has you like taking that back. Like,
well, I'm still gonna keep playing it because I want to, completely beat the game. So,
yeah.
But what was the original Metroid game, I have completed.
Okay, so you didn't beat Metroid Zero Mission, but you beat original.
I beat
Metroid.
With Super Metroid rules.
It's a thing.
But yeah, the graphics are great. I like the way the graphics look. It looks just like the Super Nintendo game.
Perfect.
The music is really cool. I always like the music in the Metroid games. It's so moody.
Oh yeah, just like it sets an atmosphere like not many other games I can think of, especially on the NES. Like, the Famicom one sounds even better, but the
I had the Famicom disc system version. The music's way better on that.
Like, just the start screen of it gets you in like the loneliness of space feeling like right away. So
it plays very well. I can't really complain about like technically. It's just everything like just the way the story plays out just kind of cheesed me off a little bit.
They just tried to
So
does it feel kind of like a Star Wars special edition?
A little bit.
Kind of
A little bit. It does have a little bit of that extra Jabba scene that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, hopefully there's none of that musical number that nobody needed with the close up of that guy's
Ah!
Yeah. No one needed that. No one.
Did you see
asked
my
for it.
tonsils?
Everyone's like, I love Star Wars. I love Return of the Jedi. You know what was missing? Some dude's fucking tonsils in my face.
Yeah. And you can see the spit coming off his teeth, his CGI teeth.
Yeah, I needed that. It's the only thing. The only
And
thing
backup
missing.
dancers.
Yeah, that's the only impressive part is that they brought the one slave girl back like 30 years later.
Yeah, and she looked
20
almost
years
exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, heavy makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway. So for
Back
my
to the
game,
games.
yeah, for my game, like I said, I got Guilty Gear Judgment, which is your fault. You have fully enabled me to buy this.
I told you, treat yourself.
And it's a lot of fun. It's basically 2 games in one. It's Guilty Gear Judgment, which is a beat 'em up, and if there's one thing you need to know about me, it's I love my beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
And this was a cheapie, and as soon as you talked about it, I was like, whoa. I looked it up and it was like $9.
Yeah.
And it's got the beat 'em up game, and it's also got Guilty Gear X2 The Midnight Carnival #reload on it. So a fighting game, one-on-one fighting game, and a beat 'em up. And I really enjoyed the beat 'em up aspect, which is what I played first. I played through it with a couple of characters. It's got all the characters from the fighting game as characters you can play in the beat 'em up section. And that's a lot. That's like, I think there's like 12 characters.
Something like that, yeah.
They're not all, there's about 5 or 6 you have from the beginning, and you unlock about 2 per character, or 1 or 2 per character. And but you go through the same exact levels. There's just a little like interlude where you meet up with the character you're unlocking, and then you don't really see them again. And as far as the actual beat 'em up section goes, I thought it was a lot of fun. The only thing that bugged me was there's these especially in the first couple of levels, you encounter these like lizard things, but when they die, they give out the most shrill scream. Do you remember those guys?
Yeah.
Every time they die,
And the thing is, the PSP has such tiny speakers.
it's so shrill.
Yeah.
That I was just
It feels like those speakers are going to pop.
Yeah, I was just like, enough. That's the only thing I don't like, because the music is amazing. It's frantic, like upbeat music, and the
I always love
characters.
the music in the Guilty Gear games. They're always fun. It's always great.
And the characters are always off the wall, which was what made me want to go through. I actually went through it twice with 2 different characters. I think the first girl's name was like May or something, and she is basically a pirate girl, and her weapon is this giant ass anchor.
Yeah.
It was so fun to play through with her. And then I just played through with I cannot remember his name.
That's the one thing
It's
about
like
the games is like the character names are
Yeah.
not as memorable as like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, Jared or something.
Subway?
Yeah, hopefully not. I don't want a part of his quest.
No.
I don't want. I don't care about his plate. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Pretty decent. It took me about an hour and a half or so to play through the full story. It was a good challenge. Wasn't ridiculous by any chance. Switched the imagination. Then I played some fights on the main game and was pretty crap at it, but I still had fun.
It's on the PSP. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, I'm not amazing at fighting games anyway, but I like them, and I just get over them kind of quickly. Like, I'll be all about a fighting game when I start playing it until I start to get good, and then when I start to get good, I'm like, I start to get
It's like
bored.
me with MMORPGs.
Yeah, when I start to be able to kick the computer's ass, even on like the higher difficulties, I'm just like, all right, unless I'm playing it with a friend, that'll like add some longevity to it. But yeah, so it was a good little game. I'm glad I grabbed it and played it. So 2 thumbs up if you like beat 'em ups and fighting games. I can't think of a cooler package that you could get. And now I guess I got to get a friggin' DS one, because I watched another freaking collection video by some dude talking about a different Guilty Gear beat 'em up for the DS. So I have to. It's not my fault. I've been enabled. That's why we're enablers. We enable each other. We fully encourage each other.
Treat yourself.
Get that game. Go see that movie.
Yeah.
Buy that.
But I wouldn't have
expensive
even known
ass
about
toy.
Judgment if it wasn't for Scott Squatch from Video Game Sellers. Like, he bought it on some garage sale.
As he does.
Well, yeah, and the thing with him was when he bought it, he was showing it off, and like what he had gotten at the end of the day, he like does like a pickup video, and he was like, "Yeah, I was actually considering just buying this and flipping it," but he goes, "Then I tried it just because," and he goes, "Yeah, I didn't know it was a beat 'em up," and he goes, "I love beat 'em ups. I hate fighting games, but I love beat 'em ups, so I keep in this one." I was like, "It's a beat 'em up. Let me look that thing up."
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested anyway. I don't know if I would have seeked it out knowing that, but if I saw it at like MGC or a game store for that price, I would have probably grabbed it anyway. But because I never seem to get PSP games, so it's good.
Oh man, when I first got back into collecting for that console, every single place I went, they had stacks and stacks of them.
And the movies, the UMDs.
Oh yeah. I find those more often now than I do the games.
The majority of my collection, I'd say at least half of my PSP games, I got in one just big. I bought a duffel bag of games off a guy I worked with at Walmart, like right after I started, and it was all PS3 and PSP games. And he goes, "Yeah." He's like mentioned a few games. He's like, "I don't know." I was thinking like $50. I thought he was saying $50 a game. Oh. PS3 was like brand new still. Well, it was like maybe a year old.
New-ish.
So I was just like, I don't know, man, unless he's got like something that just came out and I'm going to save like $20 on it, whatever. And I get there and I was just like humoring him basically. He only lived like 2 blocks away from me. And I was just like, whatever, I'll see what he's got. Maybe I'll make a, wheel and deal and get a game for $20 that I actually kind of want. And I looked through the bag and I was like, I have none of these except for I think one game I had out of all of them. And I was like, all right, yeah, I don't know. He's just like, yeah, what do you think? Do you think $50 is fair for all that? And I was like, for all of it, $50 for all of these. And he's like, yeah.
Jason,
I was like,
Jason, I hate you.
I was like, absolutely, man. I can do that right now.
I never get deals like that.
Yeah, it's not very in the area where I live. It's finding games I don't have, especially at this stage.
Yeah.
Is really rare. I don't have a retro game store. We have one pawn shop, which I've talked about before, Le Nugget, or the Nugget, as outside of Canadians might call it. Yeah, the worst, sketchiest hotel on the face of the earth.
Nice.
Which is, not somewhere I like to go. So the bummer of that is, there's very limited places for me to get games. For new games, it's Walmart or order that shit.
Yeah.
So
you seem to have really good luck on Facebook Marketplace.
It's good because there's only a couple other collectors locally, and I'm pretty much friends with them. One of them I'm really good friends with. We were always trading stuff, but there's a couple of friends of mine that I get first dibs when I get new stuff. So, we work it out, but you guys get the good deals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wish I get more like that, but I never seem to find PSP. And if I do find PSP, it's like, cool, it's the PSP and a game. And it doesn't have the case. And I've got quite a few that don't have the cases, and they're all RPGs, and it really bums me out. But it's better than not having a game. As far as I say, like, if I can get a game disc only and it's free or like really super cheap, I'd rather have it to be able to play it than not. I just put them on those like spools that CDRs used to come on.
Oh.
And then I got a list in my phone. Maybe if I find a case, find the game cheap again or something.
MGC's coming up.
Yeah, the only game I've spent actual like more than like $1 or $2 on was In the Hunt. I had to have it for PS1, and I hate long boxes. I hate long box PS1 games. I would rather the jewel case one, and the jewel case one is the rare version of that. So I'm probably never getting that. But I was just like, I need this, so I got it
for the Saturn.
I got it, and it just sits in my my PS1. The little like one that you can put the travel screen on. So it doesn't have a case, but it's permanently in there. Like I might as well just melt it shut.
Weld that shit
for show. So yeah. You know what else I like? VR.
A little bit,
A
a
lot.
little bit, a
A
little bit.
lot. What about you? You think it's pretty cool?
It's okay. It's all right.
Well,
It's
apparently
okay.
the PS5 is going to be coming with one, like kind of like the Kinect had to come.
$1,000.
Like the Kinect apparently had to come with the Xbox One, and now there's like 5 games that use it that aren't.
I like within like 3 months of the system coming out, they were just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna like push that off to the side.
They still put out Just Dance games, but you know the
They
Wii
still work with it.
the Wii copies outsell PS4 and Xbox One exponentially.
I still don't understand that.
Um,
Grandma playing that Just Dance.
gotta
She's like,
dance.
I heard Baby Shark's in the new one.
And I can confirm Baby Shark is in this one. We talked about it last time. I've since had to play it, and Baby Shark is in it, and my 2-year-old is elated that it's in there. So
as they should be.
Yeah. They're the target audience. If they don't enjoy it, what the hell did they even bother?
Yeah, what's the point?
Alrighty, so we like to highlight a VR game or two each episode. And what have you chosen for this week?
I chose a game that I beat like a year ago. Sadly, like I was talking about this before we started recording, that I have not played my VR in a while.
Me either.
So-
I was intending to get back on it. I think I even said in the last episode, like I'm gonna be going hard on the VR, and I barely get to come in this room except for when I'm podcasting. I'm gonna stop calling it the game room and start calling it the podcast room, because it's just I come down here and I grab games and I bring them to a different place to play them. Seems like, well, like our roulette game, I brought into my bedroom and just played it while I laid in bed.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, "What's that freaking sound?" It's like, I'm ridding the world of evil. God. Gosh,
Back off.
So,
but yeah, I picked Moss.
ooh, this is one that I've had my eye on since it came out, but I'm trying to be a cheap ass and pay like $20.
That's how I got. I got it at GameStop for that much.
I know, and I didn't.
Oh.
So that's like now my price. You know, like when you could have got a deal
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't get it, you're like, well, that's the price I'm going to pay, or
Yeah,
less.
eventually when I get it.
Yeah. So,
Well,
so,
like I said, MGC.
yeah, hopefully I find. Yeah, I'll be looking. I'm always looking for VR stuff, and I find that VR in stuff like GameStop and EB Games when I go in there now is going the way of Vita, where there's like a little tiny rack, like 4 or 5.
Oh no! When I go,
6 games, and
it's all
they're
mixed in.
or they're mixed right in. But they used to have like a VR area,
Yeah.
but now I'm finding like, I mean, I know I've got a few, but I'm finding like the same 4 or 5 games when I go there, and I'm just like,
Yeah, the pickings at the local GameStops for VR games has gotten kind of slim lately.
yeah, it's kind of bunk. So it's getting to it's starting to feel like Vita to me, where if I want to collect for it, I gotta order it.
Yeah.
And as far as like 80% of my collection for the thing goes, it's all stuff that's been ordered, imported, or
Yeah, a lot of my VR games are imported.
the last games I think I bought in the store for the VR were Concrete Genie, Trover Saves the Universe, and Blood and Truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while.
Internet.
It's been a while. Well, that's why I love Amazon. Amazon hooks me up most of the time. So have you beaten this?
Oh
Or-
yes, I did the whole just beat it picture thing and all that. You tried taking a picture with your cell phone of your TV while you've got this headset on.
It's so hard.
That's fun.
It's so hard. Every time I beat one, I end up just. It's the only thing where I have to get at least half-ass thing of the credits.
Yeah.
But I'm going with like stock.
I have to like lift it up a little bit and then look like this at the TV and kind of
yeah,
get the picture.
Yeah, it's so but when you hold it, it like knows it's not on your head. So
Yeah,
it's
that's why I
all
gotta have my
weird.
head at some weird angle.
Yeah, I want someone to take a picture of me trying to take a picture for my just beat it post.
Yeah.
These days. And it's like, what is this fool doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, it's gonna look like some weird grandpa shit, like grandpa trying to figure out how to program the VCR. And what the hell? It's just
Why does the 12 keep blinking?
It's not 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's 3 in the afternoon. So
But anyway, Moss. But But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a platformer, and you kind of play. Well, you're reading a book, and the main character of the book is this mouse on the cover named Quill. I keep on not being able to. There we go. That's the ticket.
Peter Quill.
Sweet spot. Yeah, Quill, little mouse character, little female mouse character, and as the reader, you're reading about the adventures she's going on, but you also can interact with it a little bit. And when you use the controllers, you can use as your hands, and you can like tickle her, and you can move things in the background if she can't pass it and stuff like that. Cool. And the 3D effect is really, really good because you got to go in the backgrounds, the foregrounds, all this kind of stuff. There's a little bit of combat, not too much, a couple of boss battles, but it's just really charming. And to me, I beat it in one sitting. And
it's Blood and Truth style?
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I didn't realize how short the game was, and before I knew it, I was like done with it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's basically why I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it for like around 20.
And 20 is the perfect price for it.
I think it might have gone on sale, and I just keep forgetting to check. But whenever I check on it, it's around $30 mark. So one of these days,
so well regarded. That's why.
Maybe we'll have like this show will have like a reverse Metal Jesus effect. Like we'll talk about a game and the stock on it will plummet. So be like, yeah,
hell with those guys. What do they know? That game sucks.
We'll be like, yeah, it's kind of a pricier game. Around $75, and we look on Amazon later, and we're like, is that a repro? It's going for $5 now. That's weird. Yeah, the Enabler Bros talked about it, and the stock on this shit tanked. Let's hope. One can hope.
Yeah,
we want to have that effect on the
retro. It's won all kinds of awards, so maybe that's why it's holding its value longer. Yeah,
like I want it. Other stuff like Astrobot, that's pretty highly regarded and stuff, is all like gone on sale and super cheap.
But it's super charming. It's really adorable. I mean, Quill is the most adorable, I think, video game character I've ever seen.
Sweet. Yeah, anything I've seen on it looks just super interesting. And it's probably one of my most wanted VR games. It feels like a glaring omission for my collection.
Yeah, it's other than the fact that it's like maybe 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours long. That's the only problem I have with it. But it's very replayable also because there's lots of hidden areas you can uncover, and like you can get the achievements and stuff like that. It probably would be very easy to platinum.
Cool.
I would assume, because I've always meant to go back and replay because I know that I missed stuff.
Yeah, there's that's the thing with a lot of the VR games. Like some of them can be like 2-3 hour games, and you're like, And a lot of people are like, is it really worth that? And you're like, yeah.
When if it's fun and I had a good time playing it and it feels super immersive like this does, I'm perfectly okay with it being short. If it doesn't outstay its welcome, because the last thing I want to do is like play this like drawn out game.
Yeah.
And get sick of it. I would rather just have a good memory of like I played through it, I had a great time doing it. It was short and sweet. I'm good.
Exactly. Like I'd rather a game that doesn't wear out its welcome. Like I hate when a game like injects all these like fetch quests or like just things that I find like just falsely expand how long it takes to beat the game. Yeah. Well, when you're like, oh man, I feel like I could have beaten this game like 5 hours ago and I would have been just as happy.
Yeah.
Like when you feel like a game's wrapping up and then you're like, oh, I'm like halfway.
Oh, it turns into Return of the King.
Yeah.
Like 15 different endings.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, but that's the thing with the VR games. Like you got to actually experience VR before I think you really get it. And like whenever I talk to people about VR, especially locally, they're just like, I know it seems like a lot for games that are like an hour long. I'm like, no. There's like a couple that are like really short.
Go buy a copy of Skyrim and then tell me about a game lasting an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Skyrim VR.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent game.
Still got to play it. That will not be at my roulette wheel.
Well, what I'll be playing also before the end of the month, kind of sticking with a bit of a theme here, but I'm going to be hopping on this pretty hardcore for, I don't know, a couple hours anyway. And I'll try and beat this before Eternal comes out. I've hopped on it a few times and, play. I'm more like dicked around with it when I've had friends over and they're like, want to check out the VR. Mm-hmm. I just let them pick whatever, and it's usually in between like Rush of Blood, Doom, usually Skyrim or something.
I usually throw Super Hot in there.
Yeah, I always recommend Super Hot because it's a mess.
I was like, you want to see something cool? Make your brain melt out your ears a little bit, but hey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like the only game I think I've played that feels actually really short that I own a physical copy of is the Job Simulator, and
I still haven't been able to get a copy of that.
one of the priciest
Why?
PSVR games. And I'm just like, well, I was also,
Why?
yeah, it's literally just like a short experience. I mean that and Accounting Plus. Accounting Plus is like an hour-long game, but it's at least hilarious the whole time, and
We're still gonna play that.
does not say it's welcome. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking that out.
I haven't. I just need to play
But
it.
yeah, you know, it's Doom. Not everyone is super into the way you move around. You use the wands, and it's kind of like it shows like a little circle on the ground, and you kind of release the button and you snap to it.
Well,
I think I remembered you saying you weren't a huge fan of that kind of movie.
Well, I complained about that I think it was my PlayStation VR video on my channel.
Yeah.
And then I got so many comments saying like there's a way you can stop it from doing that. You can actually just walk.
Yeah.
So there's some option you can tweak to turn that off, and you can actually just move around freeform.
Yeah, a lot of the games have that now, and
So I think maybe an update or something.
yeah, some games you just go like this or something and you walk, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's not something that ever really deterred me. I played quite a
I
few
wonder if it
games.
works with the game controller.
I'm not sure. It doesn't. It's not on the case. It doesn't say that, but I can use the VR aim controller. So that's
what I just said. Yeah.
that's a big thing. I'm gonna. Oh, I thought you meant like a regular controller.
No, I
Oh,
can
sorry.
use that aim controller for the VR that I used when I played Farpoint.
Yeah, definitely. I bought the bundle that comes with what's the other game? The other soldiery game. I can't remember what it's even called.
Oh, the Firewall or whatever?
Yeah, Firewall. Yeah, Firewall 0 Hour. I got that. And I got Farpoint, and a couple other games that use that. So I haven't even utilized that thing since I finally got it. But
It works so well with Farpoint.
excellent. It's good to hear because I've heard a couple games really. There's one like Bravo Team game that they say it's like shit.
Yeah,
Uses it, but
I've actually avoided buying that one.
yeah, pretty much because it's what I heard. I mean, I'll check it out at the right price anyway.
If I find it for like $5 used, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a couple avoid games for the VR, but so far I don't think I've really played anything that I really didn't like. A couple games made me a little bit dizzy. That's about it.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Wow.
You seen any good movies lately?
Yeah, actually, went and saw the Sanic.
So did I.
Sanic. And then I got deathly sick, and I thought I was gonna die.
As a result of Sanic, it's that bad?
No. Yeah, I caught like a real bad flu. Like the night that I saw it, I came home from seeing it, and I like almost felt like I was dying.
I must have went a little too fast.
Yeah, that's all that. But I did see it in 4DX.
That's what did it.
So if you're not familiar with what 4DX is, it's the chairs you sit in move with what's going on in the movie. And trust me, they were in a constant state of motion when I saw it.
I bet.
There is
like
a
Back to the Future
in front of your seat is a big bar, and it shoots compressed air at your face. There's compressed air jets behind your head on the back of your seat that shoot you in the back of the head. So whenever Sonic would like run past the camera, you get a shot in the face and a shot in the back.
They're like, well, the one in front of me wasn't moving. They actually had a guy who worked for the theater that would go
blowing in my ear. Yeah, just blowing on my ear. Now I know how I got sick.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The bar also had a mister in it, so if there was any water, anything going on in the movie, you would get sprayed in the face. There was the scene in the bar where Sonic is like doing his little slow motion Quicksilver moment, where he's like,
I was gonna say like off X-Men.
He smacks somebody's beer, and I felt 2 drops hit my head.
Yeah.
So it was like it shot like droplets up in the air, and they fell right on my head. I was like, that's kind of cool the way it did that. There was lighting effects in the ceiling, so whenever Sonic would like run and the electricity would build up, there was these flashes all throughout the theater.
That's cool.
They would pump smells into the theater.
So everything smelled like wet dog the whole movie? Or what?
No. The only things I noticed were when you're in Sonic's like world, like the Green Hill Zone.
Yeah.
It smelled like flowers. Like it smelled like I was smelling like a garden.
Okay.
And then whenever there was an action scene where he was running, it smelled like burning rubber.
Well, that's pleasant.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
It's
But they
rough,
also,
I
the
guess.
jets also are supposed to shoot hot air at you also, depending if there was like fire or something. I never
There's like a
felt
bunch
that.
of rockets.
Yeah,
Where's
I
all the
never
rockets?
felt that. So,
Those must have been cooling rays to slow them down.
but it was about the same price as seeing a movie on the IMAX. So I was pretty impressed.
Is it more or cheaper?
It was about the same as seeing an IMAX
Oh,
movie.
okay.
It was about $22.
The only thing I've ever seen that was kind of like that was it Disney World or something? They had like a Bugs Life thing where it would do that. It would spray you if there was there was a part where bugs like went under your chair, like they would run at you at the screen, and then you'd feel things
poking you in the butt.
Poking you. Yeah, not aggressively, thankfully, but yeah.
When we went
to, it was super weird, but it was kind of cool.
What was it? Was it Universal Studios when I visited my brother in LA? I think it was when we went to Universal Studios. Okay. The Shrek 4D ride was like that, where the chairs moved and they would shoot you in the face at water. And I kept on doing this because I saw the people that were like putting their hands on the bar and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't want that shit in my face. So I was like always going like this.
It's tepid water.
Yeah. It's like, no thanks. The amount of people that touch this thing every day, no.
Probably not. Yeah.
But Sonic was actually, I thought it was pretty. I mean, it wasn't the best video game movie I've ever seen, but it, like my expectations were so low.
Oh yeah,
that I was actually pleasantly surprised that it didn't like completely suck.
I was one of the few people where the original look honestly didn't bug me too much.
I didn't care. I'm not that much of a Sonic fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not that invested, so I wasn't like, oh my god, look how they massacred my boy.
I just kind of went like his mouth looks. I think my big thing was like his mouth looks funny.
Yeah, it looked weird, but you know.
But other than that, I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. I want
the story more than anything, and
geek rage.
Yeah, the I found it delivered on the story. It was entertaining. The kids loved it. My kids already liked Sonic. I know my kids are obsessed with Sonic. My son turned 4 the other day, and he wanted a Sonic cake. They've been playing Sonic games. He's been playing. I have this little AT Games handheld that's got Genesis games on it. He's been playing all the Sonic games on there. He's been
and Rolling Thunder.
My daughters have been playing Rolling Thunder 3. And he's actually my daughters have been playing Sonic Generations a lot.
There you go.
And wanting to get into Sonic Mania. So I'm like,
Sonic Mania is so good.
I support good Sonic games getting played. They're not ever gonna find out about Sonic 06 unless they're bad. So you guys,
Sonic Boom's not nearly as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, there's a couple of them that are so bad that you're like, meh. And a lot of them are.
What about the Sonic Werewolf one?
Yeah, that one. I've only played a little bit of it at like my wife's aunt's house, and it was fine from what I played. But I don't know. I just don't feel compelled to play them. They're just kind of there, not bad, not great. Just not really interested. Better uses of my time, but I have a ridiculous amount of them.
Yeah,
it's because my kids are like, Dad. Or, I was like, oh, did you know Sonic's a video game too? Gotta inch them through. Like, what? Yeah, do you have any Sonic games?
Boy, howdy.
A couple whip out my app, and I'm like, 37 of them.
Yeah, only like, I don't know, all of them.
I gotta soak up the cool dad moments while I still can be impressive to them.
Oh, they're still like,
whoa. I'm like, yeah, I got a couple of them. No big deal. They're bad. They get to play Sonic 06 or Sonic Boom. But
the movie,
the movie I thought it was excellent. I like Jim Carrey being classic Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Whether that's a thing you like or not, I know you're not a very big fan.
I do not like 90s Jim Carrey. I find him super annoying. But
as a Canadian, I'm super offended by that.
No. Sorry.
You got like three cool people. Just let us have our 3 cool people.
But in the movie, it didn't bother me because he's supposed to be off kilter instead of just being nutty to be nutty.
Yeah.
So it made sense.
Over the top,
Yeah.
So I thought he fit in there a lot. At first I was like picturing him in like a big Grinch costume.
Robotnik is always like this fat marble with arms and legs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I figured I'm like, oh, they've seen him in like the Grinch and stuff like that, where he's in a big like weird suit. I'm like, well, yeah, they got the right guy then.
But they stuck with it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I can handle it. It's a movie. You can't have some guy running around
in between the
looking
first
like a
one
beach ball.
and then between the first one and the second one, he'll probably just stress eat.
Yeah, you saw where he ended up at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, he's stress eat until he can get his revenge, and hopefully it doesn't involve him running at all because he'll be gigantic.
But you know what made the movie for me though?
What's that?
Ben Schwartz, the guy who's the voice of Sonic.
Sweet.
Like he sold that shit. I mean, like he is the perfect voice for that character. I mean, he is so likable and all that. I was just like, okay, I kind of want Sonic to be my buddy now too.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was better than Urkel doing the voice.
Oh, I never even saw that cartoon. So I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it because I was just like,
Jaleel White, I think his name is. Yeah,
Jaleel White. Yeah,
he did. I think on a few of them. I know he was on Sonic Underground, and there was also that time they had like 2 different Sonic cartoons at the same time. And I totally didn't know there was 2 different ones because I would like try to watch and I'm like, what's the storyline so drastically different? Because one he had like a bunch of furries that were for his friends, and then the other one was like a total different.
Were they yipping?
Yeah, he's had a lot of shows. Like definitely.
Yeah, I never watched any of them.
I enjoyed the original one. I don't know if it was the very original one, but the first one I saw I really liked when I was younger. It just was equal to the Super Mario Bros. Show as far as I was concerned. Like a good representation of the show without
do me a favor,
completely copying that.
Go back and watch the first episode of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It's called Neatness Counts. The first thing that you hear come out of Mario's mouth. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not registering it at the moment, but I know.
Okay.
I own the box set.
Watch the episode Neatness Counts. Luigi or Mario's like in the mirror straightening his mustache, and Luigi comes up and says like, Mario says something stupid to Luigi, and Luigi's like, yeah, well, you know what? You got a piece of spaghetti on your overalls. And Lou Albano turns at him and goes, hey, fuck you, Luigi.
Is that what he says?
Yes. And it's kind of covered up by the laughter of like the laugh track, but I think that's the reason why they left it in was because they think that you can't make out what he's saying because of the laugh track. But he goes, hey, fuck you, Luigi.
Well damn. They probably thought he was like, bappe boopy.
Yeah. It's on his Italian. Yeah.
Italian, that's okay.
But anyway, Sonic.
So I really enjoyed the movie. I would definitely go see a sequel.
How about that post-credit scene?
I'm all for it.
I'm so there for it.
Yeah, like I enjoy it. I felt it did its job. I'm one of those people who can like watch a movie and be like, "Ooh, I didn't care for this part," but I'm like, also, I'm not like a 10-year-old. So yeah, it was.
The movie was made for kids, and there was some things thrown in there for the adults to enjoy.
Yeah, there was enough reference that it wasn't like. Yeah, I remember Sonic.
Yeah, there was a lot of Easter eggs in there for people who had played the games and stuff like that. I mean, like the name of the town being Green Hills and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you weren't like tripping over it.
It wasn't Captain Marvel. It wasn't Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I hate when something overdoes it. And this is definitely tastefully done. And it did the trick that I think it was trying to do. I hope enough people supported it so they got their money back.
It's made a lot of money. It has made a lot of money.
Yeah, they should make a little bit more. We owe it to them. I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll buy it on Blu-ray too. I'm sure I won't have lights on my ceilings and stuff to go along with the lightning and all that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe watch it in VR and they'll have some kind of like immersive thing for that.
Yeah.
And get the guy from the theater to stop by, give him like $10 just to...
Yeah,
have a fan that just goes by once in a while.
Stop it, Jason! God, how are you doing that from Canada?
just have the fan, that pans back and forth, and then once in a while throw some water into it.
Throw some water into the fan, just sprays you in the face. Like,
we got to do it. It's weird.
Yeah. But it didn't reinvent the wheel, but for what it was pretty good.
I made a real night of it, actually, the night that we went to see Sonic. I brought all the kids and my wife. We all went as a family to see Sonic. We all loved it. My wife thought some of the CG was kind of cheap looking or something.
I'll give her that. There was a couple times where you could tell that they just like rushed the CGI to cover up the old version.
If you slow it down this frame.
No, not like that. It looked like they had finished the render. It looked like a half render, like a test render.
Did you ever see the test screen thing that they released of X-Men Wolverine like a month before it came out?
Yeah.
The CG's like a third of the way done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't watched that, but I was
Yeah.
really hyped for that.
I saw that
movie.
before I saw the movie, and then I
Yeah.
also saw the version of Hulk,
And I'm like,
the Eric Bana one where he didn't have pants.
yeah. And then the
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
thinking
scene
about
where he
that
walks
one,
past
you
the
know?
camera when the tanks are coming at him. He walks past the camera and his pants disappear, and it's like, oh look, Hulk ass.
oh, I thought Hulk.
No, there's no Wiener shit, so it was just Hulk butt.
No Hulk cannon. Oh, that's good.
No, it was just Hulk butt. I was just like, but I was like, what?
What? Why did they feel the need to do that?
They hadn't rendered the pants on him yet in the version I saw.
Well, then, speaking of that Wolverine movie, once I finally saw it, I was like, "Oh,
It looks just as bad."
They're putting the screener in the theater just to cut their losses, or
Yeah,
what?"
that scene where he's in the bathroom and
Oh
he
my
like
God, the
looks at
claws.
the claws don't even look like they're attached to his hand.
They might as well have been like flopping around like a Roger Rabbit type.
Yeah,
like,
because he moves his arm, he moves his hand like this, and they're kind of like,
Yeah. Like how hard he was in all the other ones. He's holding like these metal things.
Yeah, you can tell they look like real things. He's got like a grip in his hands that you can't see.
Yeah, just
Why?
I don't know.
That movie sucks.
That's not even a cost cut. That's
The video
like,
game is
it's
better
spending
than the movie.
more, much better.
Way better, like loads.
Yeah, and like the Gambit fight was awesome. There's Sentinels, like,
And they fucking
much.
ruined Deadpool.
yeah. But in the game, he was a cool boss.
Yeah, he's an
I'll say
awesome
that.
boss.
I'll say
that is a tough boss too.
He could have been any other character. They could have just
Yeah.
made up a new character.
Weapon. What was it? Weapon 11 or something they called him in the movie.
Yeah, just call him Weapon 11.
but it's
Don't even
fucking
call him
Deadpool.
Yeah, he's the Deadpool, and you're like, oh, why'd you do this?
Yeah, don't.
Because that was about half the shit that movie gets, and then
Yeah.
the CG is the rest. But yeah, Will.i.am sucks too, by the way. But yeah, anyway, moving
movies.
on. I was saying, I made a whole night of it. We watched Sonic as a family. It was my wife's birthday, and it was a little bit after Valentine's Day. We never really got to do a Valentine's Day thing because I was working.
Mhm.
So we dropped the kids off. My parents took them overnight, and then we went right back across and watched Birds of Prey, which was a
I
lot
really
better
enjoyed
than
it.
I honestly wasn't expecting anything after Suicide Squad. And I know it's not a direct thing. It's just
It's
got
like a
Margaret
cycle.
Robbie. Yeah, like you just basically had Margaret Robbie as her character again. I liked her a lot more in this one. She wasn't so useless seeming.
Clingy.
Yeah. Well,
I think
yeah,
having the Joker around kind of ruined her character because of just how clingy she fucking is.
and the Joker was awful, but
Yeah.
the fact that they're fighting like a supernatural thing and her powers are
I have a hammer.
gymnastics and hit it with a wooden hammer.
Yeah.
So I was just like, why is she? I know why she's there, but why is she even here?
The movie made
So-
more sense why it exists.
Yeah. So this movie, it was obviously more. They centered the other one around her too, which is like why I think she bugged me because I was like, she's the most useless one on the team. But in this one, it was centered around her again, but she was more likable. I found
Yeah.
like I really
They toned
enjoyed
down
her
the crazy.
I enjoyed her character more. Yeah, I don't mind her as an actress. I just like Harley Quinn.
I don't really
depends.
see
It
the
depends.
appeal since the whole deal with her and the Joker is like this like super unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, I
Why
hate
do people cling to it the way they do? Just kind of
Oh
baffles
God,
me.
I hate the people who are like relationship goals. I'm like,
No, that is the most unhealthy
get
relationship.
into boxing.
Yeah,
If you want an abusive relationship, who says that?
no.
It's like people saying they want like a Romeo and Juliet love. You're like, you don't
What,
know.
they killed themselves?
You don't know the story.
Yeah,
So yeah, this one I liked it a lot better. She seemed more suited for the things she was doing. The story itself doesn't have any other like really big characters,
Mhm.
other than a couple
like
that
Black
are-
Canary, and that's about it.
Yeah. So the whole story was likable. Everyone's out together because
Ewan McGregor, I really like Ewan McGregor. He looks like he's having a blast playing that character.
yeah, I like Ewan McGregor anyway.
Yeah, he's my favorite actor.
I'm always just happy when he's in stuff. And to top it off, after we watched Birds of Prey, I went home and watched a movie on your recommend, starring Ewan McGregor.
Oh, it all comes full circle.
I told you I'd check it out, and I did. And unfortunately, they didn't have the 2-pack on Blu-ray, so I got the 2-pack DVD. But I didn't own The Shining, and I wanted to fix that. And I'm not super resolution snub that it bugs me that much just having a DVD of something. But I loved it.
It's great, isn't it?
I totally agree with you on it. I mean, we talked about it a lot on the last episode, but I really liked it. Like,
totally different feel from The Shining.
yeah, there's the atmospheric feel to it at the same time, but it wasn't just like riding coattails of The Shining, which is
it's its own
what
thing.
I was afraid it would do. I like wanted to see it, but didn't want to see it at the same time. I'm like, what if it like ruins The Shining for me?
I think it enhances it.
yeah, I'm way more into it. Like The Shining is a movie where I like it enough, but it's not something I can watch all the time. Like I watch it every couple of years.
It's kind of a rough movie, yeah.
Dr. Sleep, I watched it, and then a couple days later, I'm like, I kind of want to watch it again.
So did that really disturbing scene, did it bug you as much as it bugged me?
With the kid?
Yeah.
That was the most messed up scene of the movie. Yeah, for sure. And definitely my wife would agree with you on that. Having kids especially, you're like, ugh. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but yeah, definitely, I agree with you on that.
They had some balls doing that because like movies that have stuff like that in it usually don't. Yeah, people don't like them.
No, it was. I mean, I appreciate it in the movie. You know, stuff's in those kind of movies is not often something that makes me uncomfortable, and I hate when something resorts to like a rape scene or something. Yeah. That's something that makes me really uncomfortable in movies usually. So I'm glad someone found something else. It's like it seems to be the go-to thing in a lot of those movies now for shock. You're like, it just makes me want to turn it off. Honestly,
yeah. I don't want to watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I can do gore. I can do all the gore all day.
Yeah,
but yeah, like rape scenes.
Sexual assault. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, but like, I really hope they like do another one or something. Like
follow Abra around. That'd be pretty awesome.
Excellent movie. Yeah, like I said, it's a different style, but not enough that you're like, why didn't they just make a different kind of movie?
But it feels like it does belong in the same universe. That's what I thought was great about it.
And the reshot scenes were amazing.
Yeah.
Did you
recognize
the guy that got to play Jack was like
that's Elliot from E.T.
Really?
Yes, that's Elliot from E.T. All grown up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did not even recognize him until I watched the extras on the Blu-ray or the 4K that I have, and they were interviewing him. Like, who the hell did he play in the movie? And then they show him in the makeup. I was like, holy shit! I didn't even know.
It did good. The lady that got to do Shelley Duvall was great too. Yeah, it was. I'm glad they didn't just use like stock because that stuff always jarring, especially when it's in an older movie, like a way older movie. You're like, yeah, it's clearly it's like a different film type and everything. Where you're like, it's kind of
this wasn't filmed in 4K natively, no.
Yeah, so it's it was really good to see that they reshot it, but it was like well done and not
they
terrible
real attention
also.
to detail.
So yeah, I was really impressed with this movie. Yeah. And I'm really sad that I never went to see it in the theater. Like we were going to, but we just like couldn't make it work out. So kids and working.
Yeah, it happens.
But I got to see it, and I'm happy I did. Thanks for the recommend. It kind of lit a fire into my ass to get it quicker than I would have.
You're welcome. Enabler Brothers Unite!
Yeah, you seen any other cool movies lately? Or?
Actually, on Friday, I went and saw Bad Boys for Life.
How would that?
Actually, my plan was to go and see because I ended up having to stay later than I normally do at work on Fridays, and then when I do that, traffic is horrible.
Yeah,
if I don't leave at like when I'm supposed to, anytime after that, traffic on the highways is bad. So I'll usually stay in the area and go see a movie, go get some dinner or something. So I was going to go see The Invisible Man, but it wasn't starting in time. I would have had to wait like 2 hours.
I really want to see that.
I totally do.
I'm hearing back and forth on it, but I like to just judge stuff for myself. I don't really care what other people say.
It's gotten great reviews.
Oh, that's good then.
So then the only thing that was starting that I hadn't seen yet any time close to when I got to the theater was Bad Boys for Life. So I was like, I've been wanting to see it. It's almost gone from theaters.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks.
So I was like, I'll go check it out. And it was really good.
I've been hearing
the best of the three.
Yeah, so I've been hearing a couple of people say that, so that's cool.
I mean,
were you a big fan of the original too? Or
I like the first two, but I've never thought of them of anything other than just being like stupid action movies. They're just a quick.
Yeah, the first one and done.
Yeah. The first one was literally just thrown together because they didn't have a script. It was just made on the spot.
This is built on Will Smith's star power.
Yeah, it was basically all the comedy stuff was all ad libbed. They made up action scenes on the spot because they didn't know what they were doing. It was Michael Bay's first movie, and then like with part 2, he's just kind of like, now I have a budget and clout, and I'm gonna make a bigger movie, and it's like it was fun, but
forgettable. Yeah,
I mean it's fun. I enjoy it. It's got great action scenes, but it's just really goddamn long, and a lot of that stupid Michael Bay racist humor. But part 3 feels like a real movie.
That's good. Like a movie where you actually remember.
There's character growth. There's
you remember it after you watch it, and like and a minute later it's like Chinese food. You're like, ooh, I don't remember that movie at all.
Yeah, but this one actually like felt thought out. I mean, there's like character growth. There's like an arc for characters, and it was just really good. I mean, it's more than just an action movie. It's like character development in this one actually.
Awesome.
And a lot of callbacks to the earlier movies too. Michael Bay is actually in it.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
there's like a wedding that's happening, and he like is the person who's announcing like the groom's gonna talk, or the father of the groom is gonna talk or whatever.
And he just starts
he's like the MC at the wedding. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that he didn't direct it, so they just invited him to be a part of it. I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But the action is great. You could tell it had a totally lower budget than the other movies, and they really had to make it work. And it was really good. And they set it up for another sequel.
I was kind of saying, like, I don't recall anything about. I've seen them a couple times each, first and second one. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
but I'm glad this one's got like a actual good.
I just remember a couple of lines from the other movies, like when they're driving on the highway in the first movie, and what's his name shoots the. What is it? He shoots like the dashboard, or Martin Lawrence shoots the dashboard, and he's like, "I'm going to drive this car off the bridge or whatever." And he goes, "Yeah, and there would just be 2 bitches in the sea."
Shit.
I just remember stuff like that. But this one is the best of the 3 as far as I'm concerned. I really enjoyed it. I'm like, I kind of want to go watch it again.
Oh, I might have to check it out when it comes out. It's not something I'll probably go. I think it's out of our theater already. They only have
like 2 showings of it at the theater that I went to, and I was lucky I got to see the last one of the day.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I got to get kind of picky and choosy of what I go see in the theater, just because it seems like anything I want to see, there's like 3 movies at a time in the theater, and there'll be nothing for like 2 months.
Yeah,
so it's good to hear.
But I liked it. It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. It was another one of those movies that like I had low expectations for, and it surprised me.
Sweet.
So, I liked it.
Well, as far as other stuff we watched, I've been kind of keeping going with the series that we were watching. Like Tales from the Crypt. It's another main thing my wife and I have been watching. We're on season halfway through season 3 now, almost season 4. Excellent as always. I'm loving that show the more we watch of it. There's 2 episodes in a row where it just kind of feel like, is this season gonna have a theme?
Did you get to the one with Whoopi Goldberg yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
But I think the last one I watched is the one with Don Rickles. And,
was it the puppet?
And Bobcat Goldthwait, yeah, and then he's the ventriloquist.
Yep, I remember that one.
Oh, that was good.
It
was either the last
ending.
The last one or maybe the second last one we watched. It was really good.
And I remember having a messed up ending.
That's what I like about it. They're just weird, like scary movie, scary story tales. Is what I've always loved about that shit. And then I actually watched the first episode of that show Hunters on Amazon.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
You haven't checked it out yet?
No, I want to. Every time I log on to Twitch, I see a trailer for it. So
yeah, it's been like kind of slapping me in the face every time I go on Prime.
Yeah,
and I had a friend tell me like, "Oh my god, just watch that first scene, you'll be hooked." And I really liked it. I watched the first episode, and I was just like, I don't know if it'd be something my wife would like, and I'm gonna try and see if she'll watch it with me. It kind of feels like The Boys.
I haven't seen that either.
But with like Nazi, we'll watch that first.
Yeah, I know.
It almost feels like The Boys, but they're like Nazi hunters after the fact. It's like in the 70s. So cool. Al Pacino's in it. A bunch of other cool stars are in it. But I'm gonna be watching more of that. Got a couple other mainstays I'm with, and another one I've been really wanting to look into, and that's Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
This is the one that got canceled like right after the first episode came out. Like they didn't even give it a chance.
And it got great reviews too, and they cancel it.
Yeah. what the hell? They keep shitty shows on, but this show's really good.
I hear Titans is pretty good, but I've never seen it.
Titans is really good. I haven't started the second season yet, but the first season, my wife and I loved it. We were very like skeptical. I like the original Teen Titans cartoon, and I even like Teen Titans Go. As much as most true Teen Titans fans, I wouldn't call myself a fan of the Teen Titans. I just like the shows.
Yeah.
Like I don't grab the comics or anything, but Teen Titans Go is just silly kid fun, and I have kids and they love it. And
well, don't you guys in Canada get the DC streaming service stuff on your Netflix?
Yeah, we got Titans
because I got to pay extra for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. It's out on Blu-ray though, so you can just collect it that way. But yeah, because I remember when I first started watching it, I was like, dude, you watch Titans? You're like, no, I'm not getting that fucking app.
Yeah,
I don't need another.
Like, no.
I don't need another.
I'm like, I have enough apps already. I don't need another one.
Yeah, so it's it's really good. I really, it's been out for a few months. It's weird how something can be like hotly anticipated on streaming services. I find this is even more, and then I like take forever to get around to watching it. I'm like, ooh, next week, and then it comes out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's been out for like 3 months, and just haven't. But I
go and watch the next episode of Clone Wars.
Yeah, right. I'm so behind in Clone Wars, it's ridiculous. I don't know how many times we've started watching the series.
Well, the new season's out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I want to get to it because I don't like the prequel shit at all, but I like the Clone Wars series.
Clone Wars is a great show.
Like, and I like the games of the Clone Wars stuff, and not all of them. There's some pretty shitty ones. You have videos about that.
Yeah, I do.
And so there's a lot of shit I gotta get, but that's stuff I can watch during the day. Titans I cannot because it's very adult oriented. I don't even like my kids realizing, at least it's just called Titans and not Teen Titans. I'd be like, oh no, that just looks like Robin. Yeah, that's not it. So
have you watched Swamp Thing yet?
I watched the first episode and it's really cool. So I'm gonna be trucking along with that.
Would you have canceled the show after watching it?
I definitely would not have. I would clear the show for 6 seasons just on how cool this cover is.
Yeah, that cover's rad. That looks way better than any of the movies that they made.
Yeah, I want to find those again. Honestly, I remember seeing them when
they have them on Blu-ray.
Well, you're enabling that, but MGC is so close.
I know.
I need to get a hold of them though, because I remember seeing them when I was young and thinking they were so badass.
Return of Swamp Thing is streaming on Amazon.
Hopefully in Canada, because also John Riggs was talking about how MXC is on Tubi. Not in Canada.
Really?
And I'm just like so sad. I was already ready to like.
I love MXC.
Fake it. I was ready to fake the flu and just MXC binge, but that's not happened. But there's a couple other mainstays we've been really trucking along on. He-Man. I wasn't a big He-Man kid. Were you?
I was. I was the right age when that hit. Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercat.
I think G.I. Joe and He-Man were like just slightly before, or I just didn't latch onto them as much when I was younger. I definitely love and appreciate them more now.
Dude, I saw the animated He-Man movie in the theater. Secret of the Sword.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I never seen it. I did see the live action.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater as well.
And that's the first DVD I ever bought my wife.
Dolph Lundgren.
She was talking about how much she loved it, and she's like, I haven't seen it for a while, and I had to go out of town.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I don't even know if we were dating. I think I just bought it while we were like kind of seeing each other, and I saw it, and I was like, getting it. So it's pretty awesome. And we got to go with old reliable.
Oh shit, Michael Straczynski.
It was on Netflix for a while, and
yeah,
my son Saren and I must have watched the whole series like 6-7 times, and then it disappeared. Then that shit disappeared. No, it disappeared. So I'm glad I got my hard copies because we gave it a bit of a break, and I was like, I love Ghostbusters. I don't need to tell you this. I don't think I need to tell anyone this, but I always love to declare my love of Ghostbusters. Again,
as you should.
Ghostbusters. Yes, that's my original gangsters are Ghostbusters and Transformers from when I was a kid. And then Ninja Turtles, and then 90s Spider-Man and X-Men. And why don't those have a box set?
But they're on Disney Plus.
I know.
I've watched the first season.
collect physical crap, man.
I know. I gotcha. I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Man, I'm almost ready to like order like a Chinese bootleg box set or some shit.
From Korea.
Have it. Be all like
With a side of coronavirus.
bad VHS quality and shit.
Yeah.
But love, you always got to revisit the classics, and Ghostbusters never gets old. But I definitely wanted to take that break from when we watched it like every day for hours. It's happening with the movies too. My youngest, Jarek, is also a Ghostbusters fanatic, as is everybody in our family. If they're not actually fanatics, they pretend pretty well because they know they're dead and they know they need a place to live.
We don't want to incur the wrath of the pop-up.
Yeah. So yeah, we're trucking along on that again. It's always a pleasure.
Like when it comes to like the classic cartoons like He-Man and stuff like that I used to like when I was a kid, going back and watching them as an adult, I just cannot do it. Like, I tried watching He-Man, I can't do it. I tried watching Transformers, I can't do it. I tried watching G.I. Joe, I can't do it. I tried watching Thundercats, can't do it. But I watched some of the Ghostbusters when it was on Netflix, and I was like, okay, this is actually still holding up.
That shit holds up hard. Yeah. X-Men holds up.
X-Men holds up extremely well.
The thing with all of my favorite, I named my top 5 basically. The only one that really doesn't hold up to me is, aside from a few like favorite episodes, is Ninja Turtles. I hate to say it, but
it doesn't hold up.
You really realize how absolutely like throw a dartboard at 2 different words and that's a character now. Like it's so stupid.
Did you watch the Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
Yeah.
There's an episode about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's basically what they said that they did.
It was just like, we need another toy. Okay, there's this guy that's pizza dough and he's also a robot.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And he's evil, obviously. But yeah, so I still love the Ninja Turtles, but like watching the show sometimes it's like there's a lot of eye rolling. It's basically, I still love it in the way that I love Adam West Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're watching, you're like, wow, this is stupid.
Yeah, but I'm
gonna keep watching it because it's entertainingly stupid at least. But it is what it is. Still love me Turtles, but
I will say that out of all those cartoons, the one that held up the most for me that surprised me was Robotech.
I never watched a lot of that, but from what I've seen, I do like.
I liked it as a kid. Yeah, it's on, I think, Amazon.
Yeah, it was also on, what was that free one? Crackle? I think Crackle had it, and I started watching it on Crackle.
Well, the thing is, watching it as an adult, like as a kid, I was like, oh, I like it because it's got transforming planes and there's aliens and fights. You watch it as an adult, and I was like, this is adult as shit.
You gotta love when there's
how did I like this as a kid?
I love when there's like stuff, there's layers to stuff where like there's stuff you can enjoy when you're a kid and you're oblivious to like adult jokes and shit.
Well, no, it's just like the romance and there's like people dying and it's all adult themes. And I'm like, as a kid, I was just like, boom, boom, watch all these things blow up. But as an adult, I'm sitting there going like, wow, this story and the writing on this is actually really good.
Yeah, and like, the ultra violence on some shit when you watch it, and you're like, want to like show it to your parents and be like, you let me watch this shit?
Basically, I wanted to say like, Mom, you let me watch this when I was a kid? Like,
and
seriously?
You wonder I am the way I am?
Yeah. How was I not scarred?
Well, they put up with me enough that I don't want to throw it in their face that they made me be me. So they did a good enough job. So I'm not a drug addict, so there's a thing. So yeah, going with things we loved. I got some pretty cool pickups.
I was gonna say, did you want me to do my movie pick of the month or for the episode?
Do it.
So I keep on trying to buy at least one 4K once a month to keep my movie collection going. And this month I picked out Knives Out.
Nice.
This is probably my third favorite movie of 2019. I saw it on New Year's Day. I spent the entire day at the movie theater on New Year's Day. Saw 4 movies in a row. This was the first one I saw that day.
Shit.
And it's kind of fantastic. It's directed by Rian Johnson, guy who did The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates that movie. I don't.
I hate half that movie. I think we were talking about this last episode where I can watch a movie and I can be like, I enjoyed parts. I won't like totally dog an entire movie if it's got parts I like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
let's
not get into Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's another whole podcast episode.
So this is kind of like an Agatha Christie, or a take on an Agatha Christie mystery novel, but it's done kind of in a funny way. And the thing about Rian Johnson is he always likes to turn things on their head, which is why The Last Jedi is the way it is.
Subvert expectations.
Yeah. So the whole thing about this was it starts out like your typical Agatha Christie movie or story, and then you find out that the detective that is like they've been building up as being like this guy that can you can't get anything past. He turns out to be a complete idiot.
Damn.
So it's kind of like they keep changing the genre on you. So it goes from being like a thriller mystery movie to a comedy, and then it goes back, and it keeps like going like back and forth. And it's like when it is funny, it is really funny. When the mystery stuff is happening, it's done so well, and like it's one of those movies you kind of have to watch twice, also because of like all the hidden things that you were completely oblivious to. You didn't know how they played into the way things were going in the story.
Okay.
And when you go back and watch it a second time, you're gonna be like, oh, like the Sixth Sense. You're like, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
He was dead the whole time. No one actually talked to Bruce Willis that whole movie except that stupid kid.
Yeah.
It's like that, and it's really well made. It has a great cast. I mean, like fucking Captain America playing completely against type. He plays a complete dick.
Savans. Well, it was like the kind of dick he is in Scott Pilgrim.
No, big, just like an arrogant, rich, spoiled piece of shit.
What?
Yeah, it's really kind of fun watching him have fun not playing Captain America, because you can tell he's having a blast doing it.
He's like, I can do other things now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm called an actor. Yeah. But like the whole cast is great. It's got one of the kids from It in it. Daniel Craig is great. I really like him when he's not playing Bond. Anna de Armas is great. The last thing I saw her in was Blade Runner 2049, but she is so good in this movie. She is so good.
I would say I like Daniel Craig's Bond movies, but I don't really like him as a Bond.
I liked him in Casino Royale, but everything after that. I mean, with Skyfall, I liked him in too, but most of them, it's just kind of like he's like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. And I remember how much it bugged me. Like, the smallest thing bugged me is that he was like a blonde Bond. I'm like, Bond always has dark brown hair. But now they're turning that all on its head. Like, the next James Bond will be like, what was it?
I think they're talking about Idris Elba or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was like, no way, you can't do that. But then
I say go for it.
I heard something about he's going to be a woman.
I'd say go for it too. I don't care.
Or I don't know.
Jasmine Bond.
They're going to kill. Yeah. So I was like, whatever. I mean, do what you got to do. I don't really care, but I'm not that attached. I think they should still make Bond
I'll
movies.
Watch them no matter what they do with it. I'll watch them.
Yeah, just make a decent action movie. I don't even know if you have to really change it up that much.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for 60 years?
Yeah, since the 60s, yeah.
So.
But Knives Out, I highly recommend it. Check it out if you can.
Sweet, yeah, I'll have to. I honestly haven't really even heard of it until like the last few days, honestly. Someone else I know just checked it out, because I know you showed it in your you did a big picture of all the movies you picked up in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
I saw it in there, and then I saw someone else like the same day talking about how they saw it, and it's awesome. So we'll have to go with the dual recommend. Sweet. Yeah, I don't have much more for movies, but I do have my pickups. So sticking with the theme, first of all, we'll go with probably my favorite of this bunch. It's actually a Christmas present that I got after Valentine's Day.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what this is.
Yeah.
I got the Doom Eternal Doom Guy statue, or Doom Slayer statue, and I fucking love this thing. Just the detailing on it, the blood on the base.
It's gross.
The dismemberment. It's exactly representative of the game. So
that's supposed to be Doom 2016.
I'm excited to see what this knife do. No, this is from the Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal. Oh, okay.
So it's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember him having a knife on his hands in the 2016 game.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what more comes from that story. I mean, like, I don't need a lot of story from Doom, but I just want to continue. It's all
about cool killing things from hell.
Yeah. Next, some stuff I picked up pretty recently. These have been out for a bit, and I've been kind of holding back. I've been trying to collect less of the figures and stuff. I'm trying to, try to keep it to one addiction, but picked up some tranny farmers. We got Prime.
Siege
is the War for Cybertron, which is they're making the War for Cybertron trilogy. Did you see that for Netflix?
Oh yeah. I am all about it.
I'm all about this guy here.
Oh god, Soundwave was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
My absolute favorites. I always pick up if I see an awesome G1 looking Prime, I always snag that.
I remember I got mad at my mom because she went to visit her family in Italy, and while she was there, she bought like a bootleg blaster. And instead of him being like red and yellow, he was like black and gray.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man.
And I went back to the EB Games and picked up Megatron because these other three.
Starscream, you disappoint me.
Besides Megatron, oh wait, no, Prime is the one I went to the EB Games and picked up because these. We went to Toys R Us, which is still a thing in Canada.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
And I think it was 30 or 40 cents. 40% off of all the Transformers.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Yeah, man, you're good at this shit.
No, I'm not.
Also, better than most people.
Oh shit, Springer!
Springer.
I never had him when I was a kid. I wanted him so bad because I loved him in the animated movie.
I like him a lot too. There was a really cool one that came out a couple of years ago, and I saw him.
Triple Changer.
Must have been on some kind of expensive ass trip because I was like, we were on the way to Florida, I think it was, and I was like, if this is still here on the way back, I'll grab it because it was in Virginia, which is basically on our way back from Minneapolis, and he was not there when I came back, so I was really bummed.
Aww.
And seeing this guy, I was just like so stoked. So yeah, for like I think it was 30 or 40% off Transformers, I loaded up and
if I collected toys, I'd be doing the same thing.
And I had an extra purpose for getting Megatron and Prime because the GalaxyCon that I'm going to this year in November basically on my birthday, starts on my birthday, has Frank Welker and Peter Cullen.
Getting some SIGs.
The first things they announced, and I'm like, I don't care who else is there. They could have people I don't give a shit, people who do voices for Pokemon or something that I could give less of a shit about, and I'd still be going because I needs to meet those guys.
Yeah,
they're big. One more little thing. Well, 4 more little things. I feel like I did a disservice a few minutes ago talking a bit of shit, but I still truly do love my Ninja Turtles.
The movie versions, yeah.
One of my all-time favorite movies. I do not even care.
That movie still holds up. I think it's because they made it so dark.
Yeah, and they eliminated so much in the second and third one. I still like the second one a lot, but it's definitely cheesier and more kiddie.
Yeah.
And the third one is absolute garbage. I refuse to watch it ever again.
I have it on Blu-ray because it came in a 3-pack.
That's about the only way I'd own it. Just like how I only own the newest Predator movie because I bought a box set.
Yeah, me too.
That was like $5 more than just the Blu-ray of it, and it has all of them on Blu-ray. So I was like, all right, well, I own it. I'm not breaking up the collection, but
Half Price Books had the 4K set of all the Predator movies in one, and I was like, okay.
The only one I had on Blu-ray previously was Predators because I bought it when it came out.
I'm not a big fan of Predators, but I'd rather watch that than the Predator.
Yeah, same. There's elements I really like about Predators.
There's cool stuff in it, yeah.
But
I wish they left it the way it was supposed to be before they made those changes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Danny Glover was supposed to be in it instead of Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, and then also the only other Predator Blu-ray I have is 3D of the original because PSVR is amazing.
You son of a bitch!
You got to see that in VR. Come on.
Yeah,
it's excellent. So that's about it for my pickups. Oh wait. Do you have some pickups too?
I do.
You want to show? You show some.
So
I feel like
I want to say we talked about this one in the last video too. But I found a copy of Dreams.
Ooh.
And I got a story about how I got this for $10 off. So
yeah, I like this story.
I went to the local Target to do some adulting things. Got to buy the TP, got to buy all those things.
Oh yeah, it was Target in Canada.
Target, yeah. I thought I was the only one that said that. Target got the bullets. So as I'm walking through the grocery store section, I hear little Jason in the back of my head go to the electronics section. Treat yourself.
No, I was throwing my voice Predator style over here.
Yeah. So I always, whenever I go to Target, even though I'm like, I don't want to buy anything, I always end up just going over there to see if anything's on clearance or whatever. And as I'm walking through, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. Everything's normal price. And then I see that they already had Dreams, which I think at that point in time had only been out for about a week.
Yeah, less than.
And it was like $39.99. It had a sign on it that said $39.99 minus $10 equals $29.99.
You know,
I was like,
good maths.
Yeah, I was like, for $29.99, I'll buy it right now. That's not a big deal. So I got the last copy. It was, their display copy that they had. I took it up to the front, and it still came up for $39.99. So I told the guy that was ringing me up, I was like, no, that's $29.99. There was a sign hanging off the container that was holding this display one. It was hanging directly on it. It said $10 off, $29.99. And he's like, okay. They call back there. The guy that opened up the fucking case for me even lied about it. He goes, nope, it's still $39.99.
And you just had to don the warrior spirit.
Yeah.
Just, oh yeah.
So I told the manager up front, I'm like, you want me to take you back there? I will show you where I got it. And he was like, no, just give it to him for $29.99. I'm not dealing with it.
Take you back there, or I'll take you out in the parking lot. One of the two. What's it be?
Yeah, he's like, just give it to him for $29.99. He's like, I'm not dealing with this today. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I wasn't lying or anything. It really was.
You were saying like, hey man, don't mess with Pico's pocketbook.
Yeah. That's what I said in the text, didn't I?
Asshole.
Oh shit.
I picked the cracked knuckles in that when you said that too.
I'm kind of afraid to play this because I'm afraid that it will take over my life.
So I was saying that on Game Tenants because I showed my daughter it and I showed her some videos on it. And she's like, "Oh, Dad, we got to play that." And I was like, "I know, but I'm scared."
Yeah, I'm like a naturally like film oriented person. I'm a filmmaker and all that. So like, this could dominate every waking moment.
Yeah, I really like when I get into using my creativity, I get ridiculous, and I would just be like, oh, they'd be like, hey, did you see that trailer for that new game? I'm like, yeah, I made it.
Yeah, I sold it for $10 million. Fuck out.
Yeah, well, that person. I think I mentioned this on Game Tenants. Also, was they created Ghost of Tsushima, like how it appeared in the.
Yeah, you showed it to me too. Yeah, I saw it.
Damn.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so
excellent.
Yeah, can't wait to try it. We should. Do you want to do we each make a game and send it to each other?
Yeah, because obviously RPG Maker MV is never coming out. It's been postponed again until June.
It's like every time it's about to come out, it goes, nope, 3 months later.
You're like, oh, coronavirus probably now. I'm just you're doing that shit already.
No, this is Tecate virus, guys.
I think coronavirus might be on my side slightly though, because now the TurboGrafx Mini is postponed for however long.
Yeah,
and at least that's another $100 I save before MGC.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Nice.
But then again, I also saw there's a new East game coming out for the PS4 that comes out before MGC. So I'm like, damn it! So $60 I've saved for MGC because it's one of the PSP games, The Memories of Salsetta.
Oh god.
So you win some, you lose some.
I also picked up this game called Children of Morta.
Oh yeah, I got that for the Switch.
Is it okay? So at work, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he's a gamer too, but he plays a lot of like PC games and stuff. And he was talking about a game which I thought this was.
Damn.
So the name sounded very similar to this, and I just happened to come across it on eBay.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that must be the game that he was talking about. I'll pick it up because he made it sound pretty cool." There you go.
Yeah, I picked it up.
And when it showed up, I was like, "Oh, hey, I picked up that game you're talking about the other day." And he goes, "Oh, you mean this game?" And I was like, "Oh, no, that's not the one I bought."
Oh, I've got another.
Yeah, so I think this is supposed to be a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's like a Diablo-esque type game. It looks really, really cool.
So yeah, it just showed up the other day. So I'm excited because I love dungeon crawlers.
Yeah, I think I might have first heard about it when Church did one of his pickup videos. So yeah, I saw it. I'd rather have it on PS4, but I found it was really cheap on the Switch for some reason. So whatever.
Do whatever's cheapest.
Exactly.
And, the last thing I want to show off is so Musty Hobbit streamed this on Twitch, I want to say a couple months ago.
Okay.
And it looked kind of fun. And then I forgot about it because I was going to look for it, and I forgot about it. And then Sir HC Man or Cirque Man on Twitch streamed it like the day that I looked for it. So he reminded me that I needed to look for this game. It's Tornado Outbreak.
Oh yeah, the 360.
It's basically Katamari Damacy with a tornado.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I actually picked it up a couple months ago myself. So
yeah, and I remember I had a blast watching Musty play, and then when I was watching Sir HC Man play it, I was like, I totally forgot about this game. So as he was streaming it, I went on eBay and found a copy of it.
Yeah, Musty totally reminded me too because I've had it kind of. I'll have to grab that because I've got so many 360 games. I'm like I'm kind of making like a short list of what I still need or want out of the library to kind of. I'm not going for a full set, but I want to grab what I want while they're still decently priced before they start to hike or whatever. So
yeah, I definitely wanted to pick this up. But another story. So I ordered this from a guy from Canada, and like a week and a half goes by and it still hasn't shown as shipped. So I messaged the guy and I'm like, "You planning on shipping this anytime soon?" And then like within 5 minutes of me sending him that message, I got a refund.
Well,
I was like, "Oh, okay. Did you just not have the game anymore? Or you just not give a shit?"
my
Then luckily he gave me that money back because I found another copy of it complete. Because finding this complete with the manual and everything was a real chore. I immediately found another copy that was $10 cheaper than the one I bought from him on eBay, so I bought that one.
Well, damn, that's like when my Rambo the video game didn't show up and they refunded me, and I was like, well, I'm not going to find another one for that price because it was like $65 for every other copy, but I got it for 20 complete, and I was like, well, cool, you gave me my money back, but now I'm going to have to pay that plus whatever if I want to get it again. And I was all bummed, and then I found it like $5 cheaper, and I was like, all right,
for $15.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
So this last week I went on an out of town trip and try not to spend any money. So, MGC is looming in the not so distant future.
Trying to curb my habits a lot.
Yeah, and I only picked up a couple things for a good price. How they have like a daily deal. I don't know if they do that at GameStop because it's basically GameStop but in Canada. And I picked up some odds and ends. I got Azure Striker Gunvolt. I've wanted these since the 3DS games have been out.
I have the 3DS game too. That's awesome.
So yeah, there's two different ones, and I was like, well, this is both in one, and it was on one of their daily deals, so it was only like $25 or something Canadian.
Only thing that sucks is if you play that on your TV through your Switch, it looks like a 3DS game blown up on your TV.
Eesh.
Yeah,
well,
it's pretty pixelated.
Put that in the handheld mode pile, then I guess.
And handheld mode looks fine.
And for the first time in a long time, speaking of the 3DS, I picked up a 3DS game.
Woo!
I got Etrian Odyssey Nexus, and I had no idea it was like the launch big box version that comes with a little pin and an art book. Nothing too fancy, but
I think one game in that series.
This is my second. I've never really played them, but they look cool. And this was also really cheap. But it's one of those things where it's a pleasant surprise where they just have the case on the shelf and then you pick it up and whoa, what do you know? It's actually part of a box set thing. Yeah, I also got that with Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. It was on sale at one in Winnipeg when I went, and then I brought it up there and he's like, oh, what the hell? Oh, I wish I knew about this. I would have bought it. The guy. So
that's what happened to me with Lord of Magma, Lord of Magma on 3DS.
Lords of Magma.
Okay. When I got it at GameStop, I just picked up the case off the shelf at GameStop, brought it up to the front, and they put it in the big box and gave it to me for the price of the regular one.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was it was like the cheapest. Any other 3DS game I looked at was still like full like launch price, and I was like, ew. And then this was like $18.99 or something like that. And I'm like,
they sold me the collector's edition for the used standard edition price. I was like, okay,
excellent. I love it. They used to put like the big boxes on the shelf, but maybe they just didn't like them getting damaged or something.
Probably, yeah. People probably stealing them.
Because I remember when I first bought my wife a DS Lite, we would go and there'd be like, oh, what's this giant one kind of shit. But speaking of what's this giant one? I saw a couple of people snagging this on the cheap, and I'm glad I waited because I got it on the cheap as well.
Yep, got that one.
Retro Lucky Edition. It was like less than half of what it was. It was part of their daily deals, I think, or a clearance, one of the two.
That was really hard to find for a while.
Yeah, so
it's like a GameStop exclusive.
And I liked the Toki game that I have for the NES. So I was just like, oh, that would really be cool. But I was like, well, I seen it once when it was like full price, and I was like, yeah, I got other priorities.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see it cheap. It'll probably just be the game itself, but that's all I really need. And then they didn't even have it out on the shelf. It was just, it's actually sealed. It's sealed from BB Games. That's
yeah.
What rarity.
What are we in Bizarro World?
It's a true rarity. Like even when you buy socks, there they open them and they put them on first. Like,
yeah, like, we just had to make sure that they were the right size.
They need to smell like feet. So yeah, that was
put together the little arcade cabinet thing.
It was on the probably will when I open it. It was it was just like back, where they keep the actually sealed games and like that rack behind them and like the brand new releases and stuff. So they can just snag it real quick. And I was like, oh, does that say like $25? And they're like, yeah, because at first I thought it said 75, and I was like, yeah, but then I saw the red tag on it. And I was just like, oh yeah, I might as well throw that in the pile, I guess. So yeah. So yeah, that's about all I got for I've gotten other things, but we don't show all our.
No, I just wanted to show off some of my favorites. Yeah,
we don't want to spoil your monthly video.
No,
and that's about it. Oh wait, are you ready to find out what we're going to be playing?
Oh shit! You mean other than the rest of Metroid Zero Mission?
Well, yeah. You gotta play the other 75% of that game now.
Yeah, god damn it.
Alrighty, well let's get it swinging. As usual, I'll just film it and we'll add it in here so everyone can watch. Make sure I'm not
cheating,
fixing the odds of. Just, if I wanted to do that, I would just grab the game off the shelf and play it.
Yeah, no shit.
That would eliminate the. So I hope everyone's got their lists ready. Let's start the spin. And here we go. Ooh. I didn't spin it as crazy this time, so hopefully it doesn't take as long. And we got, looks like 29. Excellent.
Oh, wow.
What do you got on your list that's number 29?
Mine is King of Demons on the Super Nintendo.
Excellent. Well, mine
Repro I got.
I didn't put machine specific, but I got Lost Vikings. Ooh. I've been wanting to play that.
That's one of my favorite Super Nintendo games.
I used to play the shit out with my friend on his Super Nintendo. So since I have it on the Genesis and I have it on the Super Nintendo.
Got mine at the Midwest Gaming Classic last year.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the shit out of that.
Okay. King of Demons is really cool. It's like Castlevania, but with a gun.
Yeah, I think I've seen it before.
It's pretty awesome. I played it a little bit when I first got it. It's pretty rad.
Well, if it doesn't take me so long to beat Lost Vikings, maybe I'll hop on and try that too. I was planning to actually do that with Metroid Zero Mission, but yeah, all my days off seem to be like used for traveling and other obligations, so the game time was not as awesome.
Prevalent. Yes.
Yeah, not as in abundance as I would like. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, Chris.
No problem. And, thanks for
doing this thing. Let's get gaming and see what we think of these games.
Don't forget to pick your version of the game on your list too, everybody watching.
Yeah, I really hope we got some people taking part, and let us know what you got off your list to play. And
if you beat it and if you like it or not.
Yeah, we submit a little review in the comments. I want to hear. Most of my list is games that I haven't even played before. And a couple are games that I haven't beat. Like I just remember pretty much dicking around on Lost Vikings. So most of the time it's just games I haven't even played at all.
Most of the games I put in here were games that I've never beaten.
Sweet. Yeah, well, you put it at your own discretion. It can be anything you want. It can be like we've chosen to forego current gen stuff to kind of chip away at the backlog because we see ourselves playing more of these current gen games is because they're coming out at such high volumes. So that's basically the whole reason we created Backlog Roulette. So hopefully this helps other insane collectors such as ourselves to chip away at these ridiculous backlogs of ours. And all right.
Ridiculous.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Yay, yay. And
Hasta la vista, baby.
Goodbye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.